Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, this is Station. We are ready for the event.
KHOU, this is Mission Control, Houston. Please call Station for a voice check.
Station, this is Stephanie Simmons with KHOU. How do you hear me?
It's a little muffled, but we can hear you.
Okay, we have a bit of a delay, but we will go ahead and get started. Welcome back to KHOU 11 Morning News, and we are taking you out of this world. Right now, the Expedition 70 crew has been in space for almost 70 days. Their mission launched on September 27th, and they aren't expected to land until spring of next year. Joining me now is Commander Andreas Mogensen, Flight Engineer Jasmin Moghbeli, and Houston's own Laurel O'Hara. Laurel, we'll start with you. We caught up with you a few months ago as you prepared for this mission. How has the experience been so far?
Yeah, so far this mission has been incredible. I had really high expectations for it, and I think it succeeded every single one of them. It's just been a blast living and working in space. The crew's been awesome. We get along really well, share a lot of laughs. The work has been super interesting. We do something new pretty much every day. And then, of course, getting to look at Earth and just getting to float around never gets old.
Oh, I'll bet. Andreas, next question for you. What's your favorite part about being in space?
Without a doubt, it's sitting in Cupola, our window module, and looking down at our beautiful planet. It is incredible what we can see from space. And the Earth is truly magnificent to look at. You very quickly realize that it's one single planet that we all share together, you also realize that there's absolutely nothing in the vicinity that in any way resembles the Earth. This is all we've got. The Earth is not only our home, it's our only home, and we have to take care of it. And it's just beautiful to see from space.
A sight only a few have seen for sure. Jasmin, this question for you. Can you tell us more about the purpose of the mission?
Sure, absolutely. First and foremost, we're in the lab right now, so our mission is research and science. And just as part of living and working in space, we also have to do things like maintain the space station and maintain our bodies. But we do research and studies on so many things. We have experiments mounted on the outside of the station that are looking at Earth, and each has different sensors measuring different things. We have the way in which our orbit is, we pass over a good portion of the Earth as we go throughout our mission every few days, and so we can track changes over time. We study our own bodies and how they react to space, to weightlessness, to radiation, to all the different things up here, and that helps not only us go on further in future missions, but also helps for medical research back home. And then we study lots of different things as well, like different materials, combustion, all sorts of things that help us understand things back on Earth.
Laurel and Jasmin, you both participated in the spacewalk about a month ago. What was that like?
The spacewalk was amazing. I think it was one of the most incredible days of both of our lives. It was awesome because it's something that we've been training 7 years for, and so to get to go and do it in real life and just experience that was amazing. It was also it was challenging, and it didn't go exactly the way we hoped, and getting to work through all of those challenges that we had with the support of our ground team was a memorable experience that we'll never forget. Also, like Andy was talking about, seeing the Earth from Cupola, it's pretty neat to get to see Earth when you're actually outside space station in your own little space capsule. So those were some views that we definitely won't forget.
Laurel, have you seen Houston yet from space? Could you pick that out?
Oh, yeah, we've all seen Houston, and actually every time we fly over Houston, or even close to Houston, you can usually find all of us glued to a window trying to take pictures or just wave at everybody down there, since that's all of our home, and that's where our family and friends are. So it's pretty neat. Also, you can see Houston from a long way away. So, you know, when we're out over the Pacific Ocean, like over Baja, or, you know, far up north close to Canada, on a clear day, you can look down and see the Texas coastline in Houston. It's cool.
We love hearing that. All right, Andres and Jasmin, you were both part of the SpaceX Crew-7 launch. How does this experience differ from others?
Your mic is off.
So one of the really cool things about Crew-7 is the fact that we were 4 different nationalities. It's the first time that astronauts from 4 different countries launched on Dragon together. So I thought that was a good example of the international collaboration that underpins the International Space Station.
All right, all 3 of you, we certainly appreciate your time. And real quick, Laurel, because you are from Houston, is there anything you'd like to say to Space City?
Absolutely. I just want to say a huge thanks to the entire city of Houston for all of the support and enthusiasm that you give to NASA and the space program. I know for me, growing up in Houston is a huge part of how I got interested in space exploration and human spaceflight, and that started me down the path of a really memorable career. So I think that Houston is a very special city, and I just want to say thank you to everybody down there and all my friends and family who are following along with this mission and supporting us every day. So thank you, Houston.
Right, and we know you all will be up there for the holidays, so we wish we could send you some Buc-ee's up there. But Laurel, you'll have to explain that to the other 2. Thank you all. That's it for us from Earth, and thanks for joining us from space.
Thanks so much.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the KHOU portion of the event. Please stand by for a voice check from the Houston Chronicle.
Station, this is Andrea Leinfelder with the Houston Chronicle. How do you hear me?
Good morning. We have you loud and clear.
Great, thank you so much. So my first question is for Laurel. I love that post on X with the turkey socks, and I'm wondering if there's a story behind the socks, and also if you could tell me what it's like spending the holidays in space. How was Thanksgiving, and what plans do you have for Christmas?
Well, the turkey socks were a gift from my family. They came up on SpaceX 29, the cargo vehicle that just docked for us a couple weeks ago. So I was pretty excited to open those. I opened them in a package when I was on a video call with my family, so that was pretty fun. They were actually the ones that told me I should share those, because we kept laughing every time they would drift into the screen, and they said the internet needs to see those socks, and so that's how we ended up there. But Thanksgiving was really nice, and the holidays are really nice. We got together with all of the crewmates. Our Russian colleagues as well came over. We got some nice treats on SpaceX 29, too, some roast turkey and fresh fruits and vegetables and cheese, and so we got to enjoy that. We had a nice dinner on board.
Awesome. And Jasmin, I recall you discussing unique ways you were going to celebrate the holidays with your twin girls. Can you tell me how you're celebrating with them, and can you spell their names for me? Thank you. I'm sorry, did that message?
Yeah, so sorry. It was a little hard to hear, but I think you're asking how I communicate with my girls back home.
How you're celebrating the holidays with them. I remember you were talking about in the pre-launch media days, you had some ways to celebrate with them. And if you could please spell their names for me.
Sure. So yeah, we have done a couple things, my husband and I, to prepare us for the holidays, so that the girls can feel connected to me while I'm gone, and vice versa. We've got little ornaments with pictures of them and pictures of us as a family. We've got a felt menorah that I'll be adding a candle to each night up here. And they'll have one back home that they're doing the same with. So we have little ways to connect.
I'll get that information for you.
Okay, and Andreas, this is your. Oh, sorry. Was I? Okay, sorry. Andreas, this is your second time to the station, though the first time you were up there for just 10 days, and this time's a lot longer. So I'm curious, what's it like having a long duration compared to the 10 days?
Well, it's a completely different experience. I mean, last time, my first mission was incredible, but it was a sprint. In many ways, I was a guest on board the space station. I was focused solely on doing science and technology development. All my time went to that, and it was over in a blink of an eye, it felt like. This time, the space station is my home. I have to create a daily routine up here so that I can maintain my work efficiency throughout the 6 months. This is much more of a marathon, and the work that I do is much more varied. The focus is still science and technology development, but just by the fact that I'm up here for 6 months, I have to participate in all of the maintenance and repair activities, all of the logistical work that's required to unload and to load all these cargo vehicles that arrive. So there's just a lot more other types of work, and it makes the whole thing a much different experience.
Yeah, I'm sure. Laurel and then Jasmin, can you both tell me about your first space flight? What have been the best parts? What's most surprising? And of course, how was the spacewalk?
I don't know if there's been a worse part to talk about, but everything's just been so fun, and it's awesome getting up here and just having everything be brand new. Something someone told me on the ground right before my launch is that you only get to experience something for the first time once. And getting up here and being on space station, just the first time, even when I was still in the Soyuz capsule and we had just reached space, seeing my pencil float in front of my face, that actually still hasn't gotten old. When I'm using a tool and I set it next to me and it just floats there, I still kind of stop and take a minute just to be like, wow, that is just floating there. Or just passing each other things around modules and stuff. It's all just really fun. One thing I think that was surprising and neat was how quickly our brains just kind of remap and adapt to a 3D environment. The first couple days we're up here, if we pop into a module, from a different perspective from what we're used to seeing on the ground, say we come in on the ceiling, you have no idea where you are on space station, but you really quickly learn your way around and just kind of adapt to working in a totally 3D environment.
And then I'll agree with Laurel. It's absolutely exceeded my expectations, which are already pretty high. But I was a little nervous I would get up here and not think it was that cool. But floating, the Lora flooring has not worn off on me. Floating has not worn off on me. The Lora looking out the window and seeing our planet, although we pass the same places every few days, it's always slightly different based on the lighting, based on the weather. And so it's just been incredible, and time has gone by so quickly. Andy and I just hit 100 days up here, and I can't believe it. I want time to slow down a bit because we're having so much fun up here together, working and living. And then, you asked about the spacewalk as well. That was a highlight of my entire life, probably the highlight of my entire life. It was absolutely an incredible experience, and to go out with, my crewmate and good friend Laurel, both going on our spacewalk for the first time, and just being out there fully exposed and reliant on each other and the ground team working with us. It's definitely something I'll never forget.
And this next question is for Laurel. You said you're bringing up notebooks. Have you been drawing? And is it hard to draw in space? What are you drawing?
I've done a little bit of drawing up here, but actually I found some watercolors in one of the bags here, and so I've been dabbling in that a little bit. One, because my brother-in-law down on Earth, he's been doing watercoloring, and they're so good that I wanted to try it as well. But also because once I got up here and started looking at the Earth, the colors are so amazing that trying to capture something with just a pencil seemed a little bit more difficult, and I just wanted to try to capture the beautiful colors of Earth, and so that's what I've been doing as far as art goes.
And Andreas, what is your favorite task on the space station? You were talking earlier about making it your home, and I've seen you taking a lot of pictures from space. What are some of the cool features you've seen?
There are so many cool things I've seen. A lot of it is just sort of luck. When I happened to float by the window, I saw a shooting star. I don't know if it was a meteorite or maybe a piece of space debris, but I saw something whiz past underneath us and then burn up in the atmosphere. That was really neat. I've never seen that before. I saw recently the Himalaya mountains, Mount Everest, on a incredibly clear day, which was amazing to see. I've been participating in a science study where I'm trying to photograph and video giant lightning strikes called blue jets and red sprites, and seeing some of these incredibly powerful thunderstorms and the lightning that they produce, especially this blue tinted purplish lightning, has also been very, very fascinating.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all of your time, and enjoy the rest of your time in space.
Thank you so much, and thanks for the great questions.
Station is used in ACR. That concludes the event.
Thank you to all participants. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.